hello, hello, Pisces. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. This is Patty. I'm actually recording this on the 25th Sunday, one day right before these good energies of the 26th to the 2nd. We're actually in the process of the full moon, guys. So the full moon is going to be the 26th for some and 27th for others, depending on where you are in the world. So this energy that we're going to be doing with this reading today is going to be hot, hot, hot. It's so intense, literally, with the full moon going on. So if you're feeling a little bit emotional, weepy, if you're a female, this is typical. The moon is a super moon. It's closest to the Earth as it can be, and it is going to have a lot of intense energies there. So don't be surprised. That's just part of the process of the energies moving in and out of our galaxy, kind of a thing. So let's get started. I don't have any real announcements. I am having a live reading for the full moon tomorrow on the 26th at 11 a.m. That is something that you can pop in and watch. And if you're not sure, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. How do I not miss it? Well, you subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be notified when I'm on live. And that will happen for maybe your readings for your signs or anything I upload. All right. So that's pretty much the news. I'll probably incorporate some of the full moon in this reading. But we'll see how it goes. Then we also have a new uploaded video, or I have a new uploaded video called Why is My Tarot Different? So you're very welcome to watch that as well. If you're new, that will explain a lot in how I do my readings and why my tarot is different. I also tell you what the difference between traditional and modern tarot, that kind of a thing. Since I've done a little bit of research on the history of tarot, I did that before I started tarot, which is really important because I wasn't going to do tarot for some reasons that the human population sort of screwed up the meaning of tarot. Anyway, so let's get started. This is the 26th through the 2nd. Wow, we are right on. I love doing readings when we're right on top of the energies because this is how close, and this is pretty right on usually. So I like when we're doing that. If I could do them every day, I would. But these take a lot of time and a lot of energy. So let's see what we've got going here. All right. So the first card that we're going to be pulling out of the oracles is for the... Are you really serious? Wow. Wow. I'm saying wow because this current energy card has popped up as a current energy card. You saw me shuffle, 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 shuffle. I shuffled even before coming on, and it's still the same card. This is blowing my mind. This is really blowing my mind. But this first card is the Divine's card. It is the energy that maybe there is something that's challenging or some struggle. Maybe there's a question you were asking Divine. Maybe you were like, I'm really sort of skeptical of Divine, and maybe this is sort of a sign or something that he's giving you, like, don't be skeptical, I'm here. So anyway, then the second card is the current energies, and the furthest card, the third card, is the future energies, but it's also energies for about 2 months because this is a planet thing, and I'll share that with you on the 26th on the full moon reading. So this would be definitely the Divine's card, the Grail Knight, romance, illusion, and seeking sacred. Okay, so this is definitely the Divine's card. It is also the number 6, which is harmony and improvement. Okay, so what is it in the Divine that really... Now, there's going to be romance in there because with the energies of the planets, there is some... sexual energies in there. Could be, you know, masculine, female, but there's still sexual energies in there with Venus and Uranus and stuff like that happening. The illusion is basically what is not true. So that's why the Grail Knight is saying seek the sacred one. Seek the sacred one is because that is where absolute truth is. An illusion is human truth where most of the time it isn't even true. However, it needs to be based off of evidence, human truth, and that is of the first dimension, what can be seen. Whereas absolute truth is of Divine's wisdom, and that isn't seen. That's second dimensional. Okay, so so there's something in this message here for you as a Pisces. So I'm not quite sure what you're asking divine, what you're looking for, what challenge or struggle. Maybe there is something you're trying to decide on. This is something where the divine is saying, seek me for the answer. Don't seek tarot, because usually tarot, I get the answers from the divine and the energies of the planets. It isn't the tarot cards. Tarot is just the telephone. Hello, hello, anybody there? Hello. So it's just the tool to get there. All right. So we have the cat as our current energy. Now the current energy, I said this guy has popped up, I don't know how many times this last week, and cat is about independence, healthy boundaries, and the number 9. Okay. So this has a lot to do probably with something you're going through or you're asking about. So when you're asking about healthy boundaries, is it something you got to be asking yourself these questions? Is it within these healthy boundaries? Well, what are healthy boundaries? Healthy boundaries are high vibrational. They are intuition, but it's also integrity, high morals, high values, high integrity. And what do you mean by high integrity, high morals? What is that? That could be high to you, but it's not high to me. High is based off of spiritual, absolute truth. Okay, so that's how I walk my life, is I do it by absolute truth. If it is not in divine's absolute truth, then I don't do it. So, and if it's not in my journey, I don't do it. And I hear divine, I feel divine, I know when it's right, I know when it's not right. It's just the way it is. If you walk, you get to know the energies, you get to know divine, you get to know the universe and the feelings of the planets and everything, the moon. You just get to, and that's by your intuition. Your intuition will begin to tell you things more and more and more and more. All right, so that's this current energy right now, is what is it that is creating a unhealthy boundary for you, and what is a healthy boundary for you? Because the other word on the cat is, you think of a cat. Cats are very independent, extremely independent. So are you too independent, not independent enough? Are you codependent? That's another thing. Thank you. I'll share that in a minute. Thank you. So that is something that we have to look at in the current energy here. Future energy, this is going to be for the next couple of months. This is going to be a process for someone, and it's going to be like a process, not just one, but more and more kind of a thing. It's like, okay, I'm trying to right my wrongs. So that is for somebody, and that is for forgiveness. And that's going to bring stability, because the number 49 is the number 4. And that is going to bring stability. So this is a process that we're doing. So it's very interesting, because if you put these 3 together, you can see a pattern here that the divine is trying to work on. So he's saying, look at me, come to me for the answers. And then 2, create healthy boundaries from those. And 3, to get even healthier, you have to heal. And when you heal, you get forgiveness. And you get forgiveness, but you also give forgiveness. So that might be something for somebody. I'm not quite sure who that may resonate with, but this is, and then you become independent. Thank you. That's beautiful. So they're saying once you forgive, that your independence grows even more to a higher level, because you're releasing bondage. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It does to me, and it's very beautiful, because when you release yourself from bondage, you give yourself more room to fly. And that's a really, really good energy to be able to fly. I've been there. Well, I mean, not flying literally, but your soul feels really light, like it could fly. Okay. So so somebody's pretty earthly here. So we have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is about abundance, worldly abundance. Okay, because Pentacles are about things of materialism. We're also seeking solutions in the mind, but we're also seeking things in the mind of how the world works, not so much the spiritual. So we can have an abundance of everything from the world, but we still can be pretty empty, because we have the the Empress, which is the number 3, acknowledging that. Okay. Definitely acknowledging that. We have the Four of Swords. Again, this is about our healthy boundaries. This is about taking care of our body, our mind, our heart, our soul, taking care of our spirit. Okay. So we've got somebody that is actually really, really good in the worldly process of finances and handling finances in their work and things like that. However, I think the balance is you're not nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself in your healthy boundaries for your body. It's like somebody is working way too hard and they're not paying attention. Okay, your body's tired, needs to rest. Nope, I got to keep going. I got deadlines to meet. I got this kind of stuff happening. All right. So it becomes an illusion that you're becoming really successful. Okay. The divine saying that's an illusion because you can't take it with you. So this illusion is that, yes, I'm successful because I have lots of stuff. I have lots of money. I have, things of this earth, but that's not success. I mean, that is success for some. However, that's a worldly success. It's not a sacred success. It's not seeking the sacred one. All right. It is keeping somebody definitely independent, somebody too independent. And it looks like maybe there is a couple here that is, a power team, a female and male power team. Could be, I'm not going to go into female, male, male. I'm not going to get into that. It's just a partnership that is a power team. Okay. And so that is something that may be causing both of them to be spinning their wheels more and more and more. And the balance is gradually going away. And that's going to create relationship problems. Definitely going to create relationship problems because here's the thing. Ace of Pentacles, here's more of a money opportunity. Here's more offer to. It's sort of like when you're an entrepreneur, usually you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So like for me, I'll do YouTube, but I don't make money from it. But I have my leather business, but I might have some other horse business on the side. So I'll have two businesses bringing in an income, and then it's all under the same business, but it's like, okay, one's retail sales, one's service, one's this, one's that. I might have a property investment or something like that. But this has to do with having too much, because you're getting off balance. The independence is there, great, but the thing is, it's getting off balance, and your health is beginning to show it. Start getting bags under your eyes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I figured that was. I knew that was coming. So we have the Lovers card. So this is a relationship that is sort of like a power team, and they're all about work. They're all about success and money. They're all about going that way. And you need that when you're young. It's really important to really focus in on your financial aspects when you're young. However, you have to have a goal, shoot for the goal, reach the goal, set another goal, reach for that goal. However, but when your goals are financial stability and financial, you become a workaholic, and then that's all you have is work. So you do have to have money for a tool. However, don't let that lose your balance, because somebody's losing balance. It's becoming an illusion. And remember, the Holy Grail says it's about romance. This is about romance. This is a phenomenal connection. This is a great connection. But you got to make sure that, thank you. So they're saying that have one person's independence, the other person's independence, whatever it is. Maybe you're both business owners. Maybe you're both successful at your jobs, whatever it is. However, when you come to the center, that needs to stop for the day, and you need to refuel. I got ants in the house today. I'm like, now I feel like ants are crawling all over me. But this is something where you have to regenerate and come back to the center and refuel. So that is something for you to definitely bring together to balance. That's a healthy relationship. Okay, so this may not be for everybody. However, there may be a gentleman or masculine that is, in his own. This could be two single people that are good at their jobs, good at their work. It could be another person that's also nurturing. So somebody's really, really good at that. However, they're missing the importance from being independent. It's sort of like an I-we person. So if you have a relationship and you find out that that person's all about me, well, I, and then the other person's like, well, I, but there's no we in there. It's like, we need to plan something together. We need to go create something together. And if that's not there, then the balance goes completely off. There has to be something in that center tide. And the reason why that is that the divine should be at the center. It's like that 3-cord strand. So you have a 3-cord strand, right? So a cord has 3 and they're wrapped around each other. So you have the one partner, the second partner, and in the center, that 3rd cord is the divine, keeping and holding everything together. And that becomes not an illusion, because then you have actual structure holding something together, a foundation. If you don't have that and you're both so independent, it's going to gradually break apart. All right. So let's see what else we got going. Lots of money here. Lots of money as far as that's the focus. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. Shouldn't have said that. Be careful what you say. Words are powerful, right? All right, so we have the Queen of Cups. Again, this is about your intuition. This is about knowing and understanding your healthy boundaries, your independence, but your sacred one. That's where your intuition comes from. The Queen is all about her intuition. She knows, she can feel it. It's like that intuition. Should I stay? Should I go? Fight or flight kind of a thing. Because remember I said that if you guys don't keep that the strand cord, that center cord being the sacred one, the divine, that it's going to fall apart. Well, I didn't make that up. So that I can't make this stuff up, guys. Because the next card is the Judgment card. Okay, so look at these really, really closely, because you have the Queen of Cups, who is all about intuition. You have something that's going to turn it all the way upside down with the Tower, and then you have Judgment. Now the Judgment is going to be on both of you or one of you, because somebody is going to be like, well, I did all the work, I did what I was supposed to do, and I should have an equal part in it. I am independent, but I should have an equal part in it. And the other person saying, no, I did more work. So this is why it's really important for somebody, if you're in, this could be a friendship, this could be a marriage, this could be, dating, being on the same foundation, same cord. That's why I said when you have a 3-strand cord, you got to have something in the center to foundation a divine, an energy, so that you can come back to, or it's going to break apart. Which it's obviously could happen, but it doesn't mean it has to. You can stop that process by the way that you think. Because in the future energy, if you do all this kerfuffling and get, fighting about money, fighting about this or that, and it's a very poor way, it's not good, healthy boundaries, somebody's going to be asking for forgiveness. I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm really sorry, I should have never acted that way. I don't know who that's for. All right. Yeah, it's all over the board here with numerology. So it's like there's balance is off. The balance is off, completely off. And that's why it needs to turn around. That's why the Tower showed up. So with this, whoever is the couple, though, whoever is the Lover's card, I'll say to you that basically, the woman has the intuition, but somebody's got to listen to that, because that's what's going to hold it together, because that's the divine. That's the romance part. That is the sacred part. That is pulling it, the glue. Thank you. We're the glue. We are the glue. Okay, so then we have the Absolute Truth, which is the King of Swords. And then we have the 5 of Cups again. I think this is not going well for somebody. Definitely. This is not going well. So somebody is really going through a challenge in their life. And this probably is, okay, thank you. There's somebody else going through a challenge. Oh, interesting. What I heard was that somebody's pregnant, that either they're a surrogate mom or somebody's paying for this baby, like an adoption or something like that. And that the mom is really tired, really, really tired. I don't know who that's for. But somebody's going through a real challenge or a real rough time. And really there's some decisions that need to be made. And you're really focusing in on you're focusing in on the wrong. You're focusing in on the negative aspects of it, and that's what's going to keep your world. It's going to keep your world upside down, because you got a lot of world in this reading. You know, the Queen of Cups is trying to be there. The Divine is trying to be there. The second dimension is trying to be there. But you got so much world in here that I don't know how you cannot lean on the Divine to get your answer. Okay. Somebody's really codependent. Somebody's codependent on, I want to say this is sort of like a parent-child kind of a thing. Somebody's codependent on somebody for money. It's like the only reason they're in your life is so that that they can get money. It's sort of like this person's almost a bank. And the other person is not even grateful because they don't realize how much the other person worked to get where they're at. They don't realize that. And somebody's, I think they're going to get cut off. And so somebody's world's going to be tumbling. But this is a good thing. Because once, you know, I'll say this from experience, you know, I wish my mom would have cut me off when I was younger. So I was the only survivor of us girls. So she spoiled me rotten as a young one because, you know, I was the only one that survived. We had 2 sisters that didn't make it, and I was the only one. So she spoiled me all the way up into my 30s. And so I had told her in my 30s, I wish you would have cut me off long, long before, maybe when I was 18, 19, so that I could learn on my own, because it enabled me, and it actually stifled me. She spoiled me, and it completely stifled me. So I had to learn, you know, new skills in my 30s, which is really, really hard. So if you learn them in your 20s, you can actually figure out how to adapt. You can save money. You can do whatever you need. All right. Because it is really, really hard to let go of that security blanket. So whatever this is for somebody, there is a security blanket they don't want to let go of. You know, and it's scary because then if you go out on your own, because a lot of people think, oh, well, they're an adult. If they're not paying the bills, if they're not doing their own bills, if they're not paying their own rent, if they're not doing that kind of stuff, they're not adult yet. They're a young adult, but they're not adult yet. Because it's very scary, because we have Temperance, and Temperance is about balance. Temperance is also about finding your independence, having healthy boundaries, pay your bills first, and then have spending money. If you don't have any spending money left, well, you don't spend it. You don't live, thank you. So somebody on the other side saying, don't live above their means. I was like, okay. So don't live above your means. So whoever's living above their means, this is not working. And so it's creating more of a unhealthy standard, because then you're always having to fight for yourself. You're always having to find ways to make things work. You're always having to find, you know, okay, I'm out of money already again this month, and I still got 2 weeks to go. And you blew it on a pair of shoes or whatever. So your thought process is upside down. And this is where Divine comes in, because you know what? If it wasn't for him in teaching me all the financial end of it, I would still be blowing money left and right today. But the thing is, this is a time to change things around to bring balance back in. And also to become more independent and show whoever that is that, yes, you're going to be independent. It's like couples here. This is also too for a couple. You got one person that spends too much and the other person doesn't spend at all. So one person's trying to be frugal to save for stuff. The other person's just blowing it as fast as the other person's saving it. Not going to work. You've got to get some balance. You got to get some healthy boundaries. The illusion is that you're going to be saving and you're going to get that house that you want because somebody's spending too much. You got to get on the same page. Got to get on the same page. All right. So this is about getting on the same page, turning things around. This is a financial thing. This is about getting independent. So I keep hearing codependent. So somebody needs to get uncodependent. We even can get codependent on our partners, because say I'm an independent woman, I'm an entrepreneur, but if somebody comes in with a little bit more money, I might say, okay, I'm going to hold mine, but I'm going to use theirs. Then we get this sick kind of process going, and then before you know it, we're sucked into it, and it's not a healthy boundary. So we have to be careful of our mindset and make sure that we communicate to each other what we're wanting to do, what goals we want, and make sure that we're on the same page, because you can't stay focused on the illusions. And you really have to learn that there is something that probably is going to have to let go, especially if you're living above your means. Something's got to go. Maybe get a cheaper car rather than that car that's costing $400 or $500 a month. Getting a car that costs within your means, maybe $225 or $300, whatever it is. I can't even afford that. All right. So yeah, that's where that's at. Now our future energy is forgiveness. That's a big one because that is also the planets. And a lot of people do not want to forgive. Even if it would benefit them, they won't forgive. That's stubborn pride. That is definitely, this is the opposite if you don't want to do that. Finding divine, finding sacred one, finding Holy Spirit, finding Yahweh, finding God, whatever you want to call it, you definitely are doing the opposite of what divine would be saying to do. You did wrong. Just go ask for forgiveness. Pretty much it. And if you can't do that, or if somebody needs to ask you for forgiveness, then for you to say, yes, I forgive you, but it doesn't mean that person has to be coming back into your life. It's just saying, yes, I forgive you, but stay away, kind of a thing. All right. So I'm going to leave that forgiveness up to you, because that is a whole can of worms for a lot of people. You know, and even when my brother was murdered, I came back and I prayed and meditated, Do I go after the killer? What do I do? Do I seek revenge? What do I do? And divine says, no, you forgive. And I forgave. And people are like, you what? How can you forgive somebody that killed a family member? I forgive him for the act that he did. But the thing is, he wasn't in his right mind. He didn't even know probably he killed my brother. He was probably so high that he probably doesn't remember. And if he did, then he has to live with that torture the rest of his life. So it's not my place to have revenge, because I have had too much firsthand experience to see firsthand the revenge that the divine can do. I won't do revenge. I'll say, nope, I won't do revenge. And then he will show me, physically show me later how he, if you want to call it karma or whatever, how he actually did the revenge. And it was a lot worse than what I could ever do. So I thank him for that, because you know what? They're the ones that have to answer to him when they pass over, not me. So anyway, let's see what the new moon, or excuse me, the full moon is doing, because that's tomorrow. So again, if you popped in late, there is a full moon reading tomorrow on the 26th at 11 a.m. So you can subscribe, hit the bell. You'll know when that's on. But we're already in those energies. So if you're feeling a little kerfuffled, you're feeling a little emotional, you're feeling like you're up and down or drained, that's the full moon, guys. This is a big one. This is a super moon. It's a pink moon. It's got a whole bunch of names to it. This is actually the moon that I think Buddha moved on in the moon of Scorpio. In the moon of Scorpio, he actually left this earth on the moon of Scorpio, And then he also was completely enlightened during this moon of Scorpio. So, but it's a tough moon, guys. This is a tough moon. I'll share with you tomorrow why. All right. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. So let's see what that has to say, because I sort of know ahead. Whoops. Okay, we're going to pull that one. Thank you. Yeah. So we have slow and steady, which is totally what's happening, slow and steady, because we've got some retrogrades going on in space. We got some of the planets in retrogrades. We have the moon opposing 5 planets. So there's going to be a lot of, what did I say, tense energy. Kind of tense energy. So it is slow moving. We have to acknowledge that the planets literally are moving slow. What is it? Is it Pluto? That's almost stopped for almost 2 weeks. I have to look at that again. Getting ready to go into retrograde. We also have the protecting treasure, which is our hearts. Okay, when we talking about divine, this is where he says, seek me so that I can protect your heart. And because everything wants your heart. Because that's where your spirit lies. That's where your soul lies. That's why everybody wants your heart. Humans want your heart because that's your soul. That's your emotions. That's your feelings. That's your energies. That's everything about you is where your heart lies. So protecting that. That is part of the energies of the moon as well. It's going to be amazing because it's in a very emotional moon. So again, it's going to, and if you're near an ocean, you want to go see something exciting, go watch those tides because they're going to be abnormally high and abnormally low. And then the third card, the third oracle is listening, and that's the number 8, which is about your progress and rewards. This is about your progress. This is about actually bringing yourself into balance where you're actually making healthy energies, healthy choices, but you're also taking care of your body, because as we see, somebody is not taking care of their body, they're really tired. They're not nurturing themselves, like go get a massage, go get a pedicure, go get a manicure, maybe just go get a spa. And if you can't afford that, just go sit out in nature, because that energy can do a lot for you. How many times do you sit out in the sun and then you come in and you feel really, really drained? It's because there's so much energy being sucked in and sucked out. Okay. You just have to know how to balance those. All right. So that is your reading, Pisces. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I would say the biggest thing out of this reading, I'm going to say, is really pay attention to your independence, on where you're at with that. If you're young, are you still being codependent on parents when you should actually be to the next level of, being responsible for yourself? If you're married independently, are you being independent but coming together in the center for one goal, having something in common that we can shoot for, that kind of a thing. So the independency, where's the codependency? Or am I too independent? Because as women, if we're too independent, it's a turn off to guys. If you're trying to date and you're way too independent, it's really a turn off, because guys are in a protective mode. They're also in one to help, they like to fix it kind of a thing. So if you're too independent, and I learned that because I used to be really stubborn, independent, single mom, and, business owner. I don't need anybody. I don't need a man. Well, you really do. That's a lie if you don't, because a lot of the times it's that masculine energy that brings in the opposite of what we are, that we get attracted to. So that would be a lie if you did that. So don't forget, just maybe look in who you can forgive this week, or who may be coming to you, and be gentle in that, be kind in that, and right your wrongs. Because when you right a wrong, then you raise yourself to an elevation that is bringing you to your higher self, but also to you're releasing bondage to somebody. You're releasing bondage to something. That's why we say get rid of your debt, because you're bound to that debt. You're a slave to that debt. You're a slave to that. So release the debt. Release the thing, right the wrong that you might have done. All right. So that's your reading, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Don't forget to watch on the 26th. And then don't forget I have the new video out for why my tarot is different. All right. So you can see that down in the playlist and stuff like that. So I hope you have a good week, and we'll see you tomorrow, or we will see you on the 3rd. Take care, guys.